Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Coding Dojo. You've made it this far. I hope you've done some preparation because this is going to be an intense course. Welcome if you're coming in. We will be starting strictly on the hour. So to be marked on time, you do need to be here the moment the hour starts. Okay. If you come in a little bit late, 10 minutes late, you'll be marked tardy, and 3 tardies will be marked as an absent. So many absence on your record will reflect poorly, and you may get into academic probation. So always try to make it on time. If you have a good reason to miss, make sure you get in contact with your student experience manager. That person will help facilitate any good reasons that you may be missing. But let's not get into that now. My name is Josh. I am your instructor. So glad to be meeting you all for the first time. I will be with you through programming basics this week, and then on to the next course next week, web fundamentals, where we'll be learning the basics of the web, like HTML, CSS, JavaScript. We'll be doing all that JavaScript today. And so let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm from San Jose, California. Born and raised there. And within the last year, I've moved to Texas for various reasons, and don't know if I'll be here much longer. Who knows? But I'm here now. So what else should I say? I went to college in San Jose. I didn't study programming, but I did have some friends that did, and I studied history, and I thought I'd get into that route, but I was in the Silicon Valley. I needed to find some work, and then eventually I realized, oh, this is the type of work for me anyway. So I got into it. I found the Coding Dojo through working at various companies, and once I got plugged into the dojo, it was a whole experience. I got in contact with a lot of my programming friends from college. I got the help that I needed. And through a lot of struggle, I was able to complete this course and find my job that I was looking for. And then once I got the experience there, I somehow ended up back here, which is great because I get to help all you complete the course and struggle as I did. Excuse me. Still have the eggs going down my throat. Where was I? Well, let's go ahead and do a short introduction. We don't have many people here today, so I'd like to get to know every one of you. It doesn't have to be a perfect introduction. What else should I say about myself? Yeah, introduce yourself, where you're from, why you're here, and something that you enjoy doing besides working. Some hobbies, or maybe if you don't have something like that, the former industry that you're in. Joseph, would you like to introduce yourself as well? Joseph's our TA, by the way.
Yeah, sure. Hi guys, my name's Joe. Yeah, I'll be your TA for web fundamentals at least. I might move forward with you. It's kind of hit or miss how that works sometimes, but for now, I'll be your TA. So anything you need, come see me. I graduated the boot camp back in March, and I've been a TA since, and I'm loving it so far. I'm still learning every day, and I guess let's see here. I was in food service before the boot camp, and just getting older, wasn't really feeling it anymore. Wanted to something I could work remote and work with my mind instead, and went into programming, and the boot camp worked out really well for me. It's opened up like just so much possibilities and opportunities and stuff like that. So yeah, get excited and glad to see you guys here, and come see me if you need anything. So
Thank you, Joseph. Fantastic. Anyone else? Let's go down the list. We're going to introduce ourselves, whether we like it or not. We're going to get to know each other as friends here, as cohort mates. We're going to help each other out a lot, so might as well just break the ice. I'll start picking if someone doesn't volunteer.
I can go ahead.
Thank you, Mike.
I'm Mike. I am from Chicago. I used to work in maintenance engineering and building management. Didn't like the hands-on for so much, so always been interested in computers and looking forward to doing something a little more technical with that. As for hobbies, I'm a big computer person and gamer, so that's what I do most of my time.
Nice. Okay. Well, thank you, Mike. Glad to meet you. Anyone else?
I'll go.
Thank you, Justin.
Hi, I'm Justin Jones, former board of director for a startup company called Chatlux. During the course of my tenure there, I got to meet an individual named Andrew. He was really good at, well, doing development. So I would sit next to him and he would kind of show me the ropes. And I mean, it wasn't full on like what this is going to be, but kind of started wrapping my mind around it a little bit and kind of getting familiarized with kind of the possibility of what coding can actually do and just how it can be the future. So I got really heavily intrigued and well, here I am today to learn more and see where it goes.
Fantastic. Nice to meet you, Justin.
Same here.
I'll go and go.
Thank you, Leo.
Hey, my name is Leo Terrell. I used to work in a lab, but I got tired of the monotonous work and I wanted to get my hands on something a little more mentally challenging and stimulating. So the whole puzzle piece aspect of programming really intrigues me, makes me want to, chase a career in this field. So yeah, that's why I'm here. And for hobbies, I'm a big camping guy. I like being outside. So
Nice. Okay. Well, you picked the right career if you like puzzles here. And let's see, we've got through about maybe a third of the list. Let's keep going.
I'll go ahead. Hey, I'm Carlos. My last background was I was a bartender for the last about 6 years. Got really tired of waking up every morning and serving a bunch of drunks.
Oh.
So I decided I used to do a little bit of coding in high school and was going for engineering originally for college and decided to travel for a while. Glad I did because I was ending up going business or engineering and found a field I'm a little more interested in. So I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm interested in snowboarding and gaming.
Nice. Okay, Carlos, great to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Let's keep going.
Hi, my name is Purna Regmi. Originally, I'm from Nepal. Right now, I'm working in a retail area, and I don't like it there. I want to get into the developing. That's always my passion, and I'm here today.
Nice to meet you, Purna.
Same here.
Yes, I have a good friend from Nepal, so lots to talk about there. Next person, please.
Everybody, my name is Spencer Johnson. I live in Southside, Virginia. My most recent line of work was I worked for a SaaS company called Pendo based out of Raleigh. I was one of their salesmen, and I realized I was more interested in building the products than I was selling them. So this is kind of a career shift. I like ultimate frisbee and reading and playing with my dogs.
Cool. What kind of dogs do you have?
My wife breeds golden Aussies. They're half Australian Shepherd, half golden retriever, and we have 17 of them right now.
Ooh, that sounds like fun. Okay. Thank you, Spencer. Nice to meet you. All right, we have a few more. Let's go ahead and finish the list, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Evan.
Okay, good. Good. Sorry, it wasn't working a second ago. My name is Evan. I'm a father of two, and I'm married, and I have a background in education. I was a high school, middle school teacher, and then we decided that wasn't really working for us, so I went into some manufacturing job, and I definitely agree with the mental stimulation. I needed something to do more with my brain. I was getting tired of just sitting there pressing a button and it gets so monotonous. So I've done a little bit of stuff with coding, but most of my stuff comes from like working on my MySpace page back in the day. So I know a little bit of HTML and CSS, but very, very limited that way. So I want to learn more and go into this field.
Yep, I do remember MySpace and doing a little custom coding there. But those days are long over. All
Yes,
right.
yeah.
Next on our list, please. Anyone else that hasn't spoken?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, Clark.
Hi, my name is Clark. I'm from New York. I used to be a canvasser for Amnesty International, and just being out in the cold during the winter was not fun to work. So that's sort of why I came here. Also, I have a background of I was going to school for computer science, so I found myself up here.
Fantastic. Well, nice to meet you, Clark. And by the way, everyone, it's not required that you have your camera on, but we do really appreciate it. It gives it a more personal touch. You know, it's not much to just show your face, turn on the light. You don't even have to have the light on, but as long as we know you're there and not just a name on the screen. But we do understand if you don't want to show your face, that's all right. So let's go ahead and keep going down the list, please.
I will show my face for the introduction.
Okay, thank you.
My name is Keithan. I have been in IT for about a year now. I was just doing help desk stuff, tier one help desk stuff. I fell in love with IT, and then that's when I realized that I wanted to go deeper in the IT industry and learn how to code and be a software developer. So I've been trying to get into the school for the past year. So I'm extremely anxious and excited to be here. And a lot of you guys have really cool hobbies. Camping, snowboarding. I want to get into all of that stuff though. So because I like doing all of that stuff.
Nice, Keithan. Well, you're at the right place. We're here to help you.
Appreciate it.
Fantastic. Let's keep going. Let's do this thoroughly but briefly. Tina and Bill, maybe Jesse.
Hi.
Hi, Tina.
I came from a computer science background. I've been studying for about 7, 8 years. I started my journey with web development about 2, 3 years ago. I've been dabbling with React, machine learning, all sorts of things. I didn't really get a hang of a lot of things, but excited to learn. Hobbies, I kind of live and breathe code. So I do have a little puppy, but that's about it for me.
Okay, nice. What kind of puppy?
He is such a mutt. He is mostly American Terrier and Pit Bull, but he has like Poodle, Chihuahua, Husky, German Shepherd, everything in him, basically.
That is a mutt. Well, great to have you. Okay, a few more, please, and let's go ahead and get on with the day. Anne, would you like to introduce yourself, Anne Nguyen?
My name is Randy. I'm a junior in college, but I dropped out, so I'm just here, and my hobby is playing sports.
Okay. Nice to meet you. So we should call you Randy then?
Yeah, you can call me Randy.
Okay, thank you. We'll go ahead and note if anyone has a preferred name, we will go ahead and note to call you by that name. And please make sure that when you log into or when you sign in through Zoom, that it is your name that you have introduced yourself, that we know how to mark you for attendance. Okay. Okay. I think we should have 3 more people. Jesse, Clark, and Bill, have you spoken yet?
Hi, my name is Bill. I'm a father of 2 and a husband. I grew up in upstate New York and currently live in Pennsylvania. And I've done a little coding. And one of my hobbies is winemaking.
Nice. Great. Okay. Do you have a vineyard of your own?
No, I just buy juice pre-packed and just make the wine, and then I enjoy drinking it.
Okay, great. I think Kenneth is having some connection issues, or has just joined. Welcome, Kenneth. Keithan, sorry. Get a little bit dyslexia there. Clark, Bill, have you already spoken?
Yeah, I went earlier.
Okay, sorry for the mix-up here. We have just meeting each other. Yes, I do recognize your voice. It's easier to remember the face, and that's why we asked for the cameras to be on. But I think that leaves everyone. Has anyone not spoken? We'll go ahead and get on with the lecture if everyone's covered. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. All right, everyone. So in the welcome email, you should have received this calendar here. This calendar is going to have all the necessary links that we need. It's going to have a link to the platform, which we'll introduce in a moment. It's going to have the link to the Zoom class, which I see most of you used already. It's going to have my email here. If you click my name, you should be able to send me an email. For if any reason you need to miss class or have an emergency or need to be excused for something, please get a hold of your student experience manager and myself. We have Joseph's email as well. We have another way that we'll be getting in touch with each other through this platform called Discord, which we'll be able to send messages through. We'll have our lectures and assignments, our scheduled agenda for the day, end of the day work and homework. So everything we need here to complete this week is going to be here on the platform. Okay, so we'll go over this in detail in a moment, but let's go ahead and get started. All right. So welcome. Welcome to the Coding Dojo. This is week 1, day 1 of programming basics. You've made it this far. Only a small percentage of our applicants find themselves at the dojo. So you have made it this far. We are proud of you already. We are ready to make you developers. So let's learn a little bit about this platform. This platform here that I am looking at is going to be the foundation for all the studying and the work that you're going to do. For the lectures that I'll be teaching, I'll be referring to this platform often, because we'll be learning so much information at once. It's like writing a dictionary in your own head. It's going to be a lot of words that you're learning. So if you don't always remember exactly what you're trying to remember, you'll know exactly the pages and the book. This is like a book that you'll be referring to. So bookmark things, highlight things, screenshot things from here, because all that you need to learn to pass this course will be here on this platform. Okay, so this platform will be your best friend, and you'll be able to use this platform to teach yourself. Okay, there's going to be links to other websites, useful websites that we recommend, quizzes and challenges here. So I'm sure some of you have already got somewhat familiar with this, but if not, we will be doing this in a few hours. Okay, so let's go ahead and move along and go over how we teach here at the dojo. Once I'm able to log in. Okay, I logged myself out here, but I can go back in through the schedule. Okay, here we are. So let's go over my role here. Okay, only you can learn, only you can absorb and keep the information. I can feed you the information, but you have to eat it yourself and pack it down and digest it. So that's up to you. I am like a coach here that will help facilitate your learning, and so is Joseph. We're here to guide you, but you have to put in the work. It's like weightlifting here. There's this example. We'll spot you while you lift the weights. And that will be something that you need to do. So it will be a lot of work for you. We can't do all the work for you. We can only lead you to the water, and you have to be the one to drink. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over the do's and don'ts of what we will do. Okay, our instructional staff will demonstrate their thinking and problem solving process. So as we go through problems, I'll show you how I would deal with these problems. We'll ask you guiding questions to help you find the answers using readings, videos, outside resources, and cohort mates. So you guys will be your own resource as well as this platform and the videos that we'll be showing you. We'll help you figure out where your knowledge and thinking needs to be to get course correction and to get you on the right track. Okay, we'll help give you opportunities to tinker with ideas and practice the concepts. We'll provide opportunities for you to ask for feedback on key assignments, so we'll always be here for that. It will help you encourage to get through this course. Sometimes you'll fail on this course, but we have this saying here: fail fast and then get up quickly and get back to work. Okay. We'll help you celebrate. Obviously, we want to encourage you. We want to rejoice with you when you make a breakthrough and have that understanding, that aha moment. Like I said, we'll spot you when you lift those weights. So if you start to fail, we'll be there to help pick you up and get you moving along. Okay. Things that we won't do. Okay. We won't be the single source of knowledge. We won't use the readings, videos, cohort mates, and all the instructional staff to grow your knowledge. Okay. We won't be the only source of your knowledge. When I was a student here at the dojo, I had to learn this quickly, that you have to rely on each other. And this is a good thing, because this is a lot like the workforce itself. When you are going, when you have your first job, and you'll be struggling on your first job, just like you'll be struggling your first week, your first month, first couple months here. You can't always rely on your manager or the senior engineer. You have to rely on your coworkers as well as your internet, yourself. So we'll be showing you how to do that exactly, okay? It's not exactly like a college course where the professor is the main source of knowledge and points you to the readings and quizzes you on the readings. It's going to be more of a hands-on experience where you're going to be struggling alongside your cohort mates. And so I wanted to make this introduction so that we can already just get familiar with each other as our own resources here, okay? We want to connect the dots for you and transfer transfer what you learn from lectures and algorithms to figure out how to solve the afternoon assignments. So everything that we learned for the day is going to be relevant for today's assignments. Okay. We won't give you a direct answer always. Sometimes we may have to, but the greatest skill we'll teach you is how to ask the right questions to find the answers you seek. Okay. So that means Googling the right questions. Obviously, we're all pretty skilled at Google, but we want to get even better at Googling the right questions, how to search the resources that we find on Google to find that answer that we're going to get for ourselves. Okay. Google's maybe not our only resource, but we definitely want to help each other ask better questions. That's definitely a skill that I learned here at the dojo. Okay. We want to review, we won't read and review every assignment that you complete. You're not doing assignments for them. You're doing them as practice for yourself. Okay. If the code runs, it works. So this is something you'll learn as well. Okay. We're not going to review everything you do. If it works, then you've completed the assignment. Okay. There's more than one solution. Sometimes there's a better solution, but we don't want to always get stuck on one problem. We want to move along because there's a lot of knowledge we want to absorb. Okay. Obviously, we do want to learn the best thing possible within a reasonable time frame. Okay. We won't explain everything in detail. There's decades worth of knowledge about programming and computers, and you don't need it all. You just need enough to get started on your career. Okay. So with that being said, let's move along to the next part here. And by the way, if anyone ever has any questions, feel free to shoot them in the chat or to raise your hand or interrupt me. I will be attentive to your questions here. Okay. So Joseph will be posting hints alongside to what I'm saying in the chat. So keep an eye on what he's saying. Read along as I am speaking, please. Okay. So we can't give you the quote unquote right answer. Okay. There's many answers to the solutions. It's like a puzzle, right? There's multiple ways to solve a puzzle. Maybe with a jigsaw puzzle, you go over the edges first. Maybe you start with colors first and organize them that way. There's more than one way to do something, but we want to show you the best way to do it for yourself. Okay. There's multiple ways even to get a job. You'll find for yourself what works best for you. We have a career services manager that will help you with that as well, but we'll go over that later. Let's move along here. At the end of the program, you'll look back on your first couple weeks and be baffled at how you managed to get this far. Okay, it's going to be so much work that it's going to just take time for you to realize how far you've come. That was definitely my experience at the dojo. It was hardly, I had worked with coders for years, but I could hardly believe that I had become one so quickly in such a short amount of time. So that will be something that will take some getting used to. Getting so much experience in a short amount of time is going to be something awesome, amazing, and just we'll be happy to help you do that. So coding challenges give you opportunities to practice. Okay, unlike traditional classrooms, boot camps require you to practice. And that is a lot of practice. We'll provide you lots of code challenges. We'll be doing algorithms together, sometimes referred to as assignments. So you can tinker, learn, and practice and refine your skills, just like athletes run drills and practice all the time. You'll see there's a lot of code challenges that we'll be going through, okay? We'll be giving you belts to give you opportunity and demonstrate your prowess. Because this is a new type of learning style. This is a new type of learning school. It's not the university format. We'll be giving you challenges that you can tell those that you may be employed with, or just for your own sake, that that you've passed a milestone in your learning. These belts will be labeled at different levels. But just like some kind of martial art, when you get that belt, you have past a certain level of skill. So we want to reward you with that and affirm you of your progress. Okay. And last here is our goal is to get you ready to be your own developer. That means that we will be there to help you over hurdles and provide you some instructions, but we'll also challenge you as appropriate to grow in problem-solving skills. So as soon as you feel like you have attained that level of skill, we might be there to even challenge you to be even better, okay? What we expect from you. The role of the learner means that you'll be your own trailblazer here, okay? Learning is like personal training, as we've already stated. A coach will tell you what you need to do, but you need to be the one to do the work. You need to lift the weights and ask for help when you are failing, okay? If anyone's ever done any weightlifting here, if you're lifting weights and you don't ask for help when you need it, you could be in danger. You could hurt yourself, and then you'll have to spend time recovering, okay? So if you do need help, there's a saying, closed mouths don't get fed. So you have to speak up to each other, speak up to the TA, Joseph, speak up to me. Okay, well, I'll be here to make sure that you won't get left behind. It's my goal that each and every one of you pass here. Okay, so let's go ahead and go over what more expectations here. We expect you to be present. That means being here on time. The minute class starts is the minute we expect you to be here, okay? Since it's an online course, there should be no excuse for being late, right? You turn on your computer, you're there. It's not like you have to drive through traffic and then sometimes there's an accident on the road. You have to get around that somehow and call in late. It's not like that, okay? You're gonna be at your computer, and you're gonna have to, if you have a trouble with being on time, you're gonna have to fix that pronto, because you're gonna have an online job possibly. You have to be there for the meetings, or it's not gonna be impressive. You can have all the skill you need, but if you're not on time, how do we know that you're dedicated? Okay, so you need to be present. You need to be humble and compassionate with yourself. So being humble means even if you have a lot of skill already, you're not going to be approachable if you are so skilled that your cohort mates think, oh, well, I don't want to bother him or her because they are so advanced in the lessons. If I might be slowing them down. You have to ask anyways, and you have to have an attitude that people can ask you, okay? Because you never know who's going to be your after you complete this course, you may rely on each other for getting a job. You may rely on each other for not just getting a job. Maybe the person that's behind you will be your next future boss, okay? You never know how the cards may play. So always be humble and compassionate with yourself as well, okay? If you're struggling and you're not at the pace of your cohort mates, give yourself a break. Everyone learns at a different pace. You want to be gracious with yourself so that don't be too hard on yourself. For example, if you fail an exam the first time, and we've all been there, don't beat yourself up. Pick yourself up and keep going. So which leads to my next rule: strength through struggle. So you will gain your skills through hard struggle. Okay, and that is something that you'll be able to show future potential employers how much you had to struggle in such a short amount of time, and the skill you had to gain in order to do that. Okay, and lastly, we expect you to seek answers from all your resources. So if you get stuck on a problem here, there's a 20-minute rule and I'll go over that in detail here. The 20-minute rule, and I'm hovering over it here, means that if you get stuck on a problem for 20 minutes, after 20 minutes, you need to ask for help, okay? Because this course moves so quickly, you need to be able to ask each other, firstly, if you need help. So Google some of the questions you have, be your own resource, okay? If that doesn't work, rely on each other. If that doesn't work, come to the TA's office or my office. We'll have different breakout rooms on the Zoom meeting that you guys will be working in. But if you can't get help from each other, go to the next person available, okay? We don't want you to come to us immediately. And that's because, as I said it before, in the workforce, you won't always be bothering the senior engineer. You'll be using each other, your coworkers, at the same level of knowledge before you start bugging the senior engineer. And sometimes you have to do it. You got to do what you got to do. But remember, there's this 20-minute rule that don't get stuck on a problem for too long and use each other as resources. Okay. So let's go ahead and continue here. Is there anything that I missed? No, it's all here. If you need to learn these rules, you can go back to this page. Okay, calendars and links. So you guys have all made it to this Zoom meeting, so I assume that you've found the calendar already. I saw many people this morning were clicking on the calendar. So let me go ahead and go over that again and see what it looks like. I did this already, but here we are. This is our calendar. Okay, I have it zoomed in a little bit because I have other pages that I need to zoom into. But it shows our agenda for each day, what our goals are for each day, hour by hour, okay? We may go over the hour occasionally. We may be just under the hour sometimes. We're going to try our best to meet these goals of having each lecture within a certain time frame. So let's try our best here to always be on time so that we can all be at the same level and be a helpful resource to each other. So we owe it to each other to be on time so that we can all be at the same level to help each other pass this course with flying colors. Okay, we went over the schedule here and how to attend lectures. We have to use this Zoom call to be in contact with each other. So you guys have found this resource. Bookmark the Zoom link if you need it. It's always here at the top left portion of the calendar here. So let me go over a couple links also on the calendar. All these lectures that we'll be going over, I'll have recordings of them because we'll be going over information fast. You may need to go over what I said, and we'll have YouTube links as soon as the class is finished. I'll be uploading these to YouTube and linking them to each lecture here. And we'll also have a GitHub. So GitHub is a place where I can upload the code and you can download the code that we work on during the lectures. And we also have an office hour, TA, Teacher's Assistant Hall room link. So everything that we, all our times that we work on are on Mountain Time. And as you can see here on this right portion here, if you're on Pacific, if you're on Central and Eastern Time, align your hours with the hours of Mountain Time because that's the time zone that we'll be working off of. Okay, and from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Mountain Time, there is that TA hall where you can get some questions in with a teacher's assistant that will help you if you are struggling or if you just wanted to buffer your knowledge in some area. Okay, so that link is here on the left-hand side underneath GitHub. We also have we have an assignment checklist that we'll be going over. And this is the assignments that you've seen. They will be on the platform. They will be, we'll have them listed on our daily challenges here. So we'll go over that in detail in a little bit. And we also have helpful links. Okay, helpful links here are to other resources. So we have the Algo app. We have this Trace app. We'll go over that in a little bit. Okay. This is the Trace app, and this is the Algo app, by the way. So we'll have resources, links there. Here we have Christian's email. I'll go ahead and fix this here. This should be my email. So let me go ahead and do that in a little bit, but I'll have that right after this lecture here. So let's move along. Next topic here, Dojo integrity. Yes,
Josh, real quick. I just wanted to make sure, the Zoom meeting room that we're in currently, is this the only one we'll be using besides the TA hall one, or will there be other links that we need throughout the stack?
No, the TA hall one is for that hour specifically. For the rest of the day, and even after the day's done in lectures, this Zoom will be open until the very last person leaves. So this room here is going to be our hub to talk with each other. We'll also have Discord, but I'll introduce that in a second here. Let's see here. Great question, Mike. So let's go ahead and what's the topic here? Dojo integrity. So this is not a traditional school. You are here to learn. You're not here to get a GPA. This is a more pass or fail. There are different levels of completion, but this is not a GPA course. So that means the approach that your approach to how you learn may need to be tweaked, okay? And that's a good thing, because there's more than one way to learn. And throughout the boot camp, you may feel the desire to find easy ways around to solve a problem. Fight this desire and find sometimes the harder way. Maybe you'll find in a language that you've worked in, there's a shortcut to maybe sort a list or to do an algorithm with some inbuilt code. But we want you to learn the difficult way so that you know how the easy way was achieved anyways. Okay, so fight the desire to copy code that you may find online. We'll go over what that means, plagiarism, in a minute here. So let's go ahead and continue. Follow the code of conduct found in your enrollment agreement. So you've agreed to go through a certain conduct that means not plagiarizing code. Okay, the dojo hall, I went over this a little bit. So you'll have the morning hour from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Mountain Time. It's a space where you can collaborate, you can get help when you're struggling, you can make friends there. The link is provided in the calendar. Okay. So I'll leave this resource here and move along. Okay. Let's move along here to our roadmap. Okay. This course. All right. There are things we want you to be comfortable doing before the start of the boot camp. Okay. Joining and participating in an online meeting. Check. You guys have done that. You're here at the Zoom call. We're talking already. Zipping and submitting a file. Okay. If you don't know how to do that, we'll show you how to do that. Employing keyboard shortcuts. So there's certain keyboard key combinations that you'll be able to use to make your coding experience easier, smoother, faster. We'll show you how to do that. Installing Visual Studio Code's software. So there's a coding. It is a text editor that is highly recommended. There's more than one text editor. There's no definite way, and maybe on the job, your employer will prefer if you use a different text editor. But this is a good one to get you started. Okay, Visual Studio Code is great. We'll show you how to download that and how to configure it to your liking and recommended settings that we'll give you. Okay, making use of a T-chart. Okay, when we go through creating algorithms, which are they are snippets of code that do something, in order to figure out how the code is working specifically, we'll have a system called a T-chart, which is like, let me see here. It'll look like somewhat like this. If I can get this to work. It is basically a T that we will be writing variables and their values on. If I can get my drawing resource to work, I would be doing that. Okay, so this is like a T chart here. We're going to be, it's basically keeping track of our work. So like when you were in a high school algebra class and your teacher would say, solve this problem, you would be able to sometimes do it in your head. But if you didn't show your work, you couldn't prove that you did the work yourself or that you actually understood how you got to that without using just your intuitive powers. So this is going to be a way that we will show you how to keep track of the algorithm's progress. Okay. What else here? Defining and creating variables in an array. Okay, an array is a list of numbers. We'll be able to show you how to create variables. Variables are like containers. We'll go over that in detail in a second. Defining and creating functions, conditionals and loops. Functions are snippets of code that do something. And conditionals are like if else or if or statements, like logic, basically. We'll be showing you how to use the logic of the computer. And loops, something the computer can count through lists of numbers, and we'll show you how to do that. Making programming predictions above the programming basics. So the more comfortable you get with algorithms, the more you'll be able to predict the outcome of an algorithm and other types of code. Employing basic time management, problem solving, and emotional intelligence skills. So these are all skills that you'll need on the job. Time management, knowing how much time you have to solve a problem, the problem solving itself, and emotional intelligence skills. Sometimes you'll need these skills as well in order to be able to ask for help and when not to ask for help. Okay, so this is all something you'll gain in this course. Okay, general topics you'll encounter in this preparatory course include computer and web basics. JS here stands for JavaScript. It is a web language that we'll be going over in detail in a bit. Variables, basic operators, functions, comments, and console logging, conditionals. This may all sound like jargon to you right now, but we'll make sense of this in a little bit. But this is what you'll be learning: loop basics, using array and loops, time management, and problem solving cycles. Okay. All right, now course requirements. All right, you have to meet attendance requirements. You have to meet 90% of the 90% or higher completion of the core assignments. We'll be going over what that means in a little bit. Demonstrate proficiency and competencies, and all competencies required. So you have to pass the belt exams that would give you in order to continue. And if you don't meet the above requirements, you may be asked to retake a course at a certain cost. If you do meet the above requirements more than 2 times, you may be asked to leave the program. So don't get behind, complete the core assignments, make the attendance, and pass your tests, and you'll be dandy. All right, you'll be just fine. Okay, attendance for full-time students. So this means all of us here. Daily attendance is taken 3 times a day, once during the morning algorithms. This would be the time that we're doing this lecture now. Once during the lecture, that would be the next hour, and once in the afternoon. Okay, you'll know when we have this based on the schedule here. So right now, it's the AM lecture, but it'll be tomorrow will be algorithms. So once at 9 a.m., once at 10 a.m., and also then at 2 p.m. And this is all Mountain Time, remember. Okay, so part-time and flex students, well, we don't need to go over that. We're not that. Belt exam, you'll need to take your belt exam. You can't skip it. You have to pass it. Okay, and honor code. Most importantly, the belt exams are a way to determine whether you've gained the skills being offered by each stack. The belt exams are difficult, and they are designed to be so. Okay, when you pass them, you'll know without a doubt that you are the full stack developer. So this is for your own confidence as well. You join the bootcamp to become a self-sufficient developer, and the belt exam is an opportunity to give you insight into progress into that journey. So we ask all our students to hold the honor code and turn in only original work in the exams. Any submitted code which is found to be plagiarized will result in expulsion from the boot camp. That's really bad. Don't copy code from the internet and copy it and mark it as your own. Don't copy your neighbor, your cohort mate's code and claim it as your own. Okay. When we're doing the course itself, you'll be able to help each other with assignments. Don't copy your neighbor's code directly. You can help each other understand how to write it for yourself, but don't copy it exactly. That is going to result in us noticing something, and the person you're copying from is going to get in trouble too. It's going to be a mess. Just don't do it, okay? And you're here for yourself anyways. You're not so do the thing that requires integrity and write your own code. Okay, the boot camp program. So we're going to define what stacks mean and describe the importance of connecting across the stacks. Okay, a stack basically means a collection of technologies that help that work with each other. So for example, web fundamentals. After this programming basics week, if everything goes well, you'll be moving on to the web fundamentals stack, which is a collection of 3 technologies: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. We'll be working on JavaScript already. So getting these 3 to work together is going to be our first goal. And then we're going to go on to Python, which includes other technologies called Django, Flask, MySQL. And we're going to be using that with some of the technologies you've already learned in previous stacks. Sometimes the new stacks will be a whole new list of technologies that don't have to do with the previous stack that you had learned, but there will be some parallels there. So let's see here. What's next? The most important skill you'll gain is not proficiency in any one technology, but rather to be ability to learn quickly and implement any technology you choose. So you'll have a plethora of technologies to choose from. You can make yourself a well-rounded programmer by being good at all of them. You can specialize in one of them if you really like one. There's multiple ways to do things, but we want you to be able to teach yourself any stack, even a stack that we don't teach you. If you should be able to learn from other resources at a quicker pace. You should be able to teach yourself through reading documentation. The concepts will come in a lot easier if you go through our program and learn quickly to implement all the technology stacks that we'll be teaching you. Okay, career services. So career services is a service that after you graduate the bootcamp course, and when you're looking for a job, they will help you buffer your resume, help you write a cover letter, help you network. They will help you with the mock interview and some job search techniques. Okay. As well as negotiating salary. This is a resource you have for life after you complete the course. So use it to your advantage. It is going to help you to use the career services to your advantage. So take advantage of this. This is something you're paying for. It is important, however, to take note with career services that Coding Dojo does not do. It does not just place you in the job market as soon as you complete this course. Okay, you have to search for yourself, and we'll give you the best resources so you can do that. There are some other courses and resources that will try to place you into the job field, sometimes at a lesser salary rate. But this at Coding Dojo, you'll be able to negotiate a higher salary rate with the skills that you will be able to prove to your employer. Okay. This coaching will require time from you each week. So this is a whole nother journey, preparing yourself to enter the job market. So make use of your career services manager. All right. And on to the next topic. Okay. Does anyone have any questions to interrupt me at this moment?
Yeah. How do we find out who our career services manager is? And I'm sorry if you already said that.
We'll get you in contact with that person as soon as you finish with the course. It's not really necessary to be in contact yet, but
I thought that we needed to meet with them. There was something I thought I read about that, like week 1 or something.
Okay. I don't believe that's the case, but we can clear that up if that's something that you read. Maybe we can clarify that. Yes, after classes.
Yeah, sure.
But no,
I vaguely remember that too.
It should be.
I was gonna say, I think I remember that too. So we would meet with them like 3 times a week, or now we're gonna meet them this week too.
Yeah, maybe that's something you see on your email. I'll be curious to take a look at that. But from according to my knowledge, it's something that you do after you complete this course, this boot camp course.
Okay.
Okay. So plan your life. Okay. So a lot of this course will be time management. Okay. I'm sure all of you are pretty good at that already. You guys are all working class citizens. Time management is part of just living in this country, but we want to just polish these skills because it does require a lot of time management to be good in this industry here. Support systems, who you can turn to when things get tough. There's going to be, you guys are going to make friends amongst yourselves and use each other as resources, as I've said, about the internet, and also we're here to help you. Okay.
Josh, I do have a question. Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's all right.
Will we have just the schedule for the current week, or will we have access to the following week as well?
After this week, we'll be sending you a new schedule.
Okay.
Good question. Use each other as friends as well. Some of the friends that I made here at the dojo have become lifelong friends that I can rely on, not just for coding, but just to have a resource of people to talk to. Okay. Only you guys know that the struggle that you're currently going through, and you guys can relate to each other best as you go through it together. So you'll definitely make resources out of each other, and that's a good thing. It's an exciting thing as well. Also, let's go ahead and move along. Daily planner activity. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Let's see what this link leads to. Today, you'll make a copy of this planner. Look at the example in the tab. What sorts of daily and weekly activities would you need help with to be included in the schedule? Use a blank template to create your own schedule and set a rigorous but realistic daily cadence. Okay, we have this cadence already for you in this schedule here. So just follow this and you'll be fine. Okay, what time do we have now? We have just a few minutes left, so I have to go through this quickly. Know thy brain. So this is some resources to help you get your mindset for the types of activities that we're going to be going through. I can get smarter. Learning is my goal. And we will be using these expectations to get a higher achievement. Okay. Lots of reading here, but we'll get to the heart of what we'll be doing here in just a moment. Getting used to your own schedule, fixing your attitude, your passion, your focus, and setting your motivation. This is all some reading that you can do to help you with this. Okay, let's go over the rest of this material here. Anything that I need to highlight in particular? Okay, this is more resources to help you with your motivation. So please make note of this, read through this. It's not a lot of reading. There's some videos here on the platform sometimes that I'll be hovering over. I won't be playing the videos. You guys will be doing that yourself. There's a rubber ducky rule, by the way. Okay, a rubber ducky rule. It sounds silly, but it really works a lot of the time. A lot of the time when I was on the job, when I got stuck in a problem, as I was explaining my problem, I would figure out that, okay, as I'm explaining it, I just figured out my own solution when I'm explaining it. Never mind, I don't need your help. And that's called a rubber ducky. So before you use a person as your rubber ducky, use yourself as a rubber ducky. Maybe I would use journaling as a way. I would just write down the problems that I'm having, and then in writing it down, I would be able to read my own writing and then figure out what I'm stuck on. You can talk to a stuffed animal or an actual rubber ducky. That's a way to get through a lot of problems that you'll be experiencing here. And it's funny that it actually happens, because a lot of times when you're asking for help, you'll realize, oh, you are able to solve your own problem. You just needed to vocalize the problem itself. Okay. And then your peers. Okay. Sometimes you'll use your peers as a rubber ducky, but try try to solve it first on your own, and then work with your peers to get that problem if it is extremely difficult. Okay, here's another assignment, is to be on Discord. If you are not on Discord already, this is what Discord looks like. Let me go ahead and pull it up. If I can drag it across my screen, that would be great. All right, here it is. Discord. This is our channel. Spencer has already created his own study hall here that you guys are able to join. This is going to be, however, our main room here on Discord. So anything you need to do to ask each other, use this as your main resource. But we don't we do encourage you to use each other's own channels here. But this is the one where if you need help from one of the instructors, we'll be able to see you. So you can say @dojo, and then you have my name here. If you do this, you will get my attention here on Discord if you're not able to get my attention through Zoom. Okay. And you can also get a hold of Joseph. If you do @Joseph Lemmy, then you can get both of us at the same time. Sometimes I will post messages on Discord that I want to be an alert for the whole class. So I will say @cohort Josh V. That's my name, and that will alert the whole entire cohort at once to something that I want you guys to know, a link or some other information to change on the schedule. Maybe I'll change the schedule for maybe like 30 minutes. I'll say, oh, we're going to start 30 minutes delayed today. The message will be here on Discord. So have this open on your computer somewhere and have the alerts on, so that makes that little digit noise. I don't know how to mimic it. But it makes a little noise when you get a message here. So turn your notifications on for Discord. And this is our channel, Cohort Josh V. Okay. Here we go. I think we're getting through this. All right. This is a video you should watch, some advice from alumni, and knowledge check for guidance. Let's take a small quiz here. Which of the following is an important approach in maintaining growth mindset? Focusing the most accurate answer as the goal, focusing on learning as a goal, effort is not enough, or effort makes you weaker. Which one is it?
Focusing on learning as the goal.
Okay, let's see. What's the purpose of the 20-minute rule? To find the right answer, to help you learn and solve a problem like a developer, to force you to interact with
To help you learn how to solve a problem like a developer.
Okay, do we all agree on this?
Yep.
Okay, let's see. Who or what is your first line of defense when you're stuck? Cohort mates, TAs, your rubber duck, or the internet?
Rubber duck.
Rubber duck. How does your brain strengthen neural pathways? Repetitive practice, getting it right the first time, asking others for help, or reading and studying?
Practice.
Okay, this one we didn't go over much, but let's see what our results are here. And we are all correct, okay? You have to focus on learning as the goal for your approach to maintaining growth. You have to in order to help you learn to solve like a problem, solve a problem like a developer, you have to use the 20-minute rule. Okay, use your rubber duck when you get stuck. And your own brain. How do you strengthen neural pathways? Through repetitive practice. So a lot of times, even though we understand something already, I will be repeating it over and over just to make sure it sticks. Okay, I may get annoying sometimes, but I'm doing this for our own benefit. All right, we need to develop a system of organization for coding files, okay? A lot of the time when we're creating files and folders, it's just going to be like a filing cabinet. If you have your filing cabinet, if it's messy, you're not going to be able to find the files you need right away. Your work is going to get delayed, then you get disorganized, and then you get frustrated, you get discouraged. So organization is key here. We're going to need to organize our files and folders in the right way, and we'll show you how to do that. Okay, here is a video tutorial, but I'll be going over this in just a bit. Okay, so let me go ahead and actually show you now how I would create a file and create a folder. So let me share another screen I've got going on here. I've got multiple screens. Where is the screen share? I want to share my other desktop screen. Okay. And I want to use my mouse. I have a lot of screenshots here and other folders. So I want to create a new folder. So what I will have to do is right click on my screen, on my mouse, say new folder, and that's my folder. If I want to retitle this folder, I double click it and I'll say something here like new example folder. We don't want to have spaces between words. We want underscores or dashes. And where did it go? It sorts by alphabetical order, so it just jumped over here. Okay, and if I want to create a new file here, I will create a file in here, and I'll show you how to do this through Visual Studio Code. Okay, Visual Studio Code again is our text editor that we recommend, highly recommended. So if you're familiar with another text editor, we want you to encourage to switch to this one. This is the one we'll be able to best help you on, and this is the one that's used the most in the industry. So this link here is going to link you to the download for Visual Studio Code. There is another app called ooh, I am on the wrong screen. I'm sorry about that, guys. Let me go ahead and share back my own screen. You guys are free to interrupt me if I make a blunder like this. Always. Okay, sorry about that. So Visual Studio Code. This is the link here. This one that I'm highlighting. This is the link to download it. So go to this part in the platform if you're not already there. It is in the Getting Ready version 22. Go down to the Setup Computer, click Visual Studio Code, go to this link. You'll go to this website, and it has a download for Windows, Mac, and even Linux if you're a Linux user. Hopefully you're not, but just use the Windows or Mac here to download it, and that will get you ready on the installation. If you're having trouble with that, we are here to help you with that. But this is once you click one of these buttons, it should let you go down the path that your computer should help you with that installation there. And Visual Studio Code is a software program for your operating system that will help you write code. Let me show you what it looks like on my screen here. So I'm going to create a new window on my Visual Studio here. When you first download it, it may not be dark like mine. I'll show you how to make a dark screen if you like to have a dark screen. My eyes get tired after staring at light for so many hours, so I have to have everything darkened a little bit so that I can focus and not get distracted here. You can open a folder when you get started here, and you can do that either through the welcome page or through clicking this icon on the top left here. So I'll do it first through this welcome page. I'll say open, and I'm going to go to my desktop. Here's all my folders on my computer. So on my username, there is a desktop. Everyone should have a desktop, whether you're on a PC or Mac. I'm going to click desktop, and I'm going to click the new example folder. Okay, when I click open here, it's going to open this folder, and on the left-hand side, you'll see the Explorer. So when I open the folder on my desktop by itself, this was the Explorer view of the folder. But now that I'm on Visual Studio, it has this left column area here that you see. And this is the area where I'll be able to create files, okay? So this area here is basically the same as this area here on my File Explorer. You can see on the bottom, it goes through my Macintosh hard drive, then to my users, and then to my name, my specific name for the user, then my desktop, and then this folder here where my folder exists. And so I'll be able to navigate here through this left panel here as well on Visual Studio Code. Okay. Ooh, my connection's dying on my mouse here. I need to use my mouse pad. Yep. Give me a second here. Okay. All right. Now, here's Visual Studio Code. We'll show you how to use this in just a minute. But first install it. And we want to check that everyone is on this Visual Studio Code installation portion here. To get to this place, download Visual Studio Code, and this is going to be necessary for our first lesson after this hour. Okay, now for your first assignment here, we want you to create a file using Visual Studio Code in a folder and then zip the file. Okay, so download Visual Studio Code if you haven't done so already. Open it and start a new file. Okay, save the file with the HTML type and write the following, the naming convention, your last name, your first name versus assignment 1. So I will show you how you can do that. So once you open the folder that you want to work in, this is the way I've done it. You can also go through here. So without the welcome menu, you can go to File, Open Folder. You can even create a new folder from this Explorer view. So I'm going to create another folder here and say, I'm going to call it another folder. Okay. And from here, I can open. Now, when I see here, and I can expand this here by clicking here and dragging it over, I can see the name of the folder I've just created and entered into. Do you recommend that we do not use Linux? If you are a familiar Linux user and you're able to use it, then we will, that we're not going to recommend against it, but you can use it. So, you know, if you're a good Linux user, then we don't want to discourage you from doing that. But most of the platform shows how to do everything in either Mac or PC. Okay, good question. It might be a little bit difficult to get some tech support, but we'll do our best here. Okay, so once you open the folder here in Visual Studio Code, if you go to this icon to the very left of this row of icons here, you'll be able to create a new file. Okay, so the assignment says to create an HTML file type. So what does that mean? That means you create a name for your file. So what is going to be the name of the file? We are going to look at our platform and see what it says. Save a new file with the HTML file type and the following naming convention. So we know it's an HTML type of file if it ends in .html. And as you can see here, I have a little icon that shows that it is an HTML file. We'll show you how to download these icons if you like this in just a moment. Okay, it's not required, but it's something to help you get organized. And you want to say your last name and then your first name and then the assignment. So before the dot, you want to say, for example, for me, it would be Venegas_Josh Visual Studio assignment _1. Okay, no spaces in file names. Okay, this is the file that I will be submitting. So after I'm done with naming my file, I'll press enter and Visual Studio Code will enter the file that I have created. Now that I'm here, I can write inside the file something that I want to save. So in line 1, I can type in this here, hello world. Okay. Save the file. So the way to do that is by doing Command S or Control S if you're on a PC. And then there's another way to do that by going to this File tab and you click Save. As you can see here, I have autosave already selected. Don't click autosave, leave that off. I'll take that off just so you guys can see what it looks like when it's off. All right, and click Save here. That will also save the file. Okay, always save your file, save your progress as you go, or else you'll lose your progress and you'll need to save your progress in order to submit it anyway. Okay, so I'm gonna put this back on, but don't do that yourself. Always manually save for now. Okay, I leave autosave on so that when I'm demonstrating here, I have a smoother, faster way to share with you.
Hey, Josh.
Yes.
If there's just a quick thing I can add, this is my first time with Visual Studio, and when I was messing around with trying to deploy some code in it, with the autosave off, if you try to run code after making a change without hitting the save button, it will not update to run it. So just I found that out on my own, and I figured that would be helpful to anyone else's, just to make sure you save before you attempt to deploy any code.
Yes, that's another good reminder to always save. Yep, always save your work. Get in the habit of using Control S or Command S on your keyboard every time you make some progress in your code. Okay, there's also some ways to edit, undo, and edit, redo. You can do that through this section here. If you scroll to the top of your Mac, you can copy, you can cut, you can paste, you can undo, you can redo. And there are some shortcuts for that. We'll go over the shortcuts in just a bit. Okay, when you create your file, you'll need to write in line 1, hello world, okay, and then save the file, okay, and then zip the file. So what does it mean to zip? Zip is like compressing the file's contents and making it easier to share it online. So let me go ahead and share my screen to show how to zip a file. I'm going to go back to my, I'm drawing on my screen now. Let's go back to my mouse. I'm going to go here to my other desktop. And what did I call the folder I was working on? I called it another folder. So here it is on the top right of the screen. Can everyone see my screen? Just want to make sure here that I shared here properly.
Yes, you're sharing your desktop.
Okay, great. So if I right click, or on my trackpad, if I click with both fingers at the same time, I'll see a list of options here. On my Mac, it says compress another folder. If I click this, I'll be creating a zip, and this here is the zip that it's created. It says .zip, so that's the type of file it is now. I've taken this folder, I've made a copy of it into this compressed version of everything in this folder. If you're on a PC, if you right click your folder, you should be able to see the option that says send to, and then zip file. There's also a couple other options. If you're on a PC, maybe have something called 7-zip. There's other resources. If you get stuck on this step, do feel free to reach out to us, and we'll be here to help you zip a file. Okay. And then once you zip your file, you'll need to submit it. So here at the bottom of the screen, you can browse your computer. You can go, so mine here, I'm going to go to my desktop. I click my username, and then I click my desktop here. And then I'm going to go to this one I called another folder, and I can upload that, but that's not what I want to submit. I want to submit the zip version. So that's under the other categories here. So I want to click this and open it, or I can simply, oh, am I sharing the wrong screen again? I'm sharing the bottom screen. Whoops. Let me go ahead and share the correct screen here. Multiple screens in one. Okay, so here is the platform again. I will want to browse. Click browse. Scroll to the bottom here, and here's a list of all my zips. I've called this one another folder, so it's going to be another. The file name is going to be another folder.zip, and if it's not in alphabetical order, it'll be here on the search. So I'll just say another folder. Oh, there it was. typo. Another underscore folder dot zip. If you do a search, then you'll be able to find your file pretty easily if you're looking in the right area. Okay, I can click it here and then open it to submit my my zip folder, or I can grab the zip itself and then drag it here into this area, and then it's there. Okay, I'm not a student, so it's going to say something's wrong here. So I'm going to delete this. There is another way to submit your work, which is through using a GitHub. We'll explain what that is later. That's what this option here is on the right. Type in a URL here. For now, just submit a zip for all your work that you've completed. And that's how we can track your progress and see that you're working on assignments and that you're doing them correctly. Okay. Now, we're going to go over some VS Code extensions. And after this, we're going to get into our first lesson. So we're already over the hour, so we're going to extend a little bit over, but we'll try to make up for the time lost as best as possible. Okay, so let's go over some VS Code extensions. Here we are, back on Visual Studio Code. And on this menu bar on the left of icons, if I scroll all the way to the bottom and I click this, these 4 boxes here with the top right box kind of slightly off, if I click this here, I'll be able to search for extensions. There's some extensions here that I've already downloaded. Some of them, I don't know why they're here, so I'm going to uninstall this one. Never meant to install that. If you search here for the extensions, you'll be able to find it. So here's the name of the recommended extensions that we would give you. So the first one is Indent Rainbow. So this will help you keep track of your indentations. So if I type in indent-rainbow, here it is. This is what it looks like. And it'll give you a preview of what it does. For each indentation, it will color a column here to make sure everything is properly aligned. So it's a color column system to help make sure that your code is neatly organized as you write. I already have it installed, so it gives me the uninstall option if it's already installed, but go ahead and click install if you haven't already. It's not required, remember, but it's just recommended. So there's also a couple more extensions that we would recommend. Let's see here. This step here is something I'll ask you guys to do on your own. Create a new JavaScript file. So you just create a name, a new file. I'll do it anyways here. I'm going to go in this folder. I'm going to click the new file button, and I'm going to say JavaScript.js. Okay, you don't have to call it JavaScript. Often it's just called script. So script.js is a better name. And if I click enter here, and if I say, what does the platform say to say? It says in line 2, write console log and a max extension called name. Okay. So I'm going to copy this, go over back to my Visual Studio, and on line 2, I'm going to write this here. And now you can see here this line that says console.log and an extension called name. Okay. And as you can see here, if I tab, it will color this area to the left of it to show how far I've indented by color. And if I tab again, it'll be a slightly different color. It'll be like this greenish and then purplish. So there's that extension that you can see at work there. And what else here? This is another assignment that you can submit. It's creating a JavaScript file. So I already did it here in front of you. And then you will want to submit that file after you go ahead and write those console log names. Okay, an extension called name. What other extensions here do we recommend? There are a couple other extensions that you can install yourself that may enhance your experience, but be careful of installing too many because they may conflict with each other and they may make your experience worse. I remember I had a coworker once that had so many extensions installed that it was underlining everything with this red highlight to show that there was a misspelling or some kind of incorrect code format that wasn't actually true. It was the conflict of extensions that she had installed on her Visual Studio Code. So if you install too many at once and you don't know what they're doing, or if you don't know that they are conflicting with each other and you get all these errors that you're not sure why when you know that your code is written correctly, maybe because you have too many extensions installed at once. Okay, so be careful with that. And so if you need a step-by-step to help you as a self-sufficient developer, you'll need to navigate the industry tools and continually keep up with their changes. And the way to do this is to get familiar with looking at documentation. So sometimes during the bootcamp, we'll direct you to the industry's documentation. Okay, this is just a list of instructions on how this code will work. Okay, and I think that will get us done with today's lecture. So let us go ahead and get ready here to go ahead and go over the core of today's lecture. Okay, so we did the introduction of what we do here at the Coding Dojo. So let's go ahead and dive in. But before I do that, I'm going to stop the recording. Where's my recording button? Stop recording.